About 150 journalists, members of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists and the Region 3 chapter of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and some other guests gathered at the Tuttleman Center at Temple University in Philadelphia today for La Nueva Frontera Digital, a special seminar on the value of online media, social media, and internet technologies to the journalism profession. The conference was sponsored by the Greater Philadelphia Tourism Marketing Council, GPTMC, and Merrill Levitz, the executive director, was a keynote opening speaker. Bill Rowland of the Philly Food Guy podcast, to the right of Podcast Steve in this scene, was also a member of the panel that I appeared on. We also heard from Judon Roberts, the web editor for the Washington Post.
On hand, we have the foreign correspondents who didn't have a physical Washington Post. Right, exactly. You're welcome.
Thank you, especially trying to get back into it. It really helped out a lot, and especially the design thing. You know, it's always like
we don't have to figure it out either.
I know. I mentioned earlier. It's all focused on what that user wants and when that user wants it. So that's what really makes it really nice and really convenient. And from my standpoint, it's very complementary to standard written journalism, because not everybody, as Steve just mentioned, not everybody is going to want to necessarily read the story. Maybe they just assimilate information better in an audio form. The point being is that it's just very, very, very complementary. Now, I'll touch on real quickly how I kind of came into it. I'll let these guys chime in.
It's going to look like when it's done. So therefore, the medium really has shifted where they have to start thinking about this on-demand content, and yet at the same time, because it's shifting, people are still trying to figure out how do we sell this, how do we do anything with it. But we know that people want it, so let's start providing it, and we'll figure the rest out.
The comment that you made about going younger, is that basically just the industry now? Because I've been experiencing changes that are completely different from that. I was forced into texting by my 66-year-old boss. Like, I was completely resistant to it. People would send me text messages, and I'm 30. I still tell people I'm 25, but like, I just was forced to communicate with him via texting. So I'm wondering, at what point is there a point in the life cycle of these things that this technology where it's just an even playing field for all ages?
It trickles down. I mean, okay, so traditionally in the adoption of new technologies, you have a group called early adopters, okay? These tend to be a little older, maybe a little younger, but they have more money, more disposable income. These are the first people. They get in. Somehow, at some point, it becomes cool if it's going to be successful. This is where the young people come in, okay? Then the technology gets cheaper, and this is where the young people start to... So really, the big audience is the younger audience. And I would say sometimes, like my students right now.
And we're rolling, and we are here with Sarah. Sarah, tell us a little bit about the conference that we're attending.
Yeah, and actually I like how Regina pronounces it. Can she get in here with us?
Of course.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, there's Regina.
Hi, Regina Medina. This conference is called La Nueva Frontera Digital, a multimedia experience for journalists.
So how many people are attending today?
About 140.
And these are journalists from all over the country?
Yeah, mostly the Eastern Seaboard, but we do have someone from Michigan. And I think many from D.C. and New York. And Philly.
It's early in the conference, but what do you think the key takeaway is going to be from today?
You got to get on the multimedia bandwagon.
Yeah, and you have to take full responsibility for your skill set.
Right.
And full responsibility for your ability.
The media companies are not going to do that for you.
No.
Well, they may, but if you are where you need to be in terms of multimedia skills, you have to have the drive personally and internally to get yourself there. Because a lot of this, in terms of the learning curve for multimedia, is putting the time in, investing in yourself, expanding your network, and those aren't things necessarily that your employer can technically do for you. You have to do those things for yourself.
It's a psychology thing. I think, as Judon said, give yourself a round of applause for being here. And that's a big step for a lot of people.